good evening, and indeed a belated Happy New Year to you all, and welcome back to the Black and White What Now show with your host, what Gordon Freeman would have looked like if he'd got out of Black Mesa, made his way to the nearest Burger King and just ate the trauma away. I'm going to take these off for this one because that lamp is really reflecting them. Oh dear me, am I pretty yet? Should be like one of those movies where the librarian undoes her hair and takes the glasses off and oh, suddenly blah 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 blah, video time. I can no longer put off accepting the fact that 2019 is actually here. It's actually happening. This is sort of my updates 2019 goals video. Woo! See, I've sort of been preparing myself mentally and spiritually for this oncoming year, by which I mean I've spent an awful lot of time sat in a dark room with my knees under my chin, my fist in my mouth, rocking back and forwards, going an awful lot. I've been hiding. Why have I been hiding? Well, preparatory sip. It's because 2019 is going to be a devil of a year, academically and professionally. There is an awful lot going on. First of all, academically speaking, this is the last year of my masters. I graduate in December of this year. It may be exactly 12 months, well 11 months from today, I'm not entirely sure, but in the remaining semesters I have 2 original pieces to do, one of them being 3,000 words, one of them being 12,000 words, neither of which are accommodating to anything I have going on, so they're going to have to be brand new and therefore distracting pieces. And I also have a semi sort of quasi, in a way, squint your eyes and it sort of looks like a dissertation to do, which is in essence an audition tape for my PhD. And I want that doctor title, I want it so bad. Just gonna sip this while I see the long road ahead stretch out in front of me. Oh, that's very hot. I'm also working on some serialized material, short stories and a broken up longer piece to put on a blog so that I can start getting some of my written work out there and start giving an audience, that's you people, a sort of taste for what I do. And as well as that, I've sort of ended up going back to my dramatic roots a little bit and I'm working on a pilot for a web series, which, you never know, this time something may come of it. But yes, but the major one, the big thing, as I've mentioned in previous videos, I have 2 ongoing projects, and I maintained with the run-up to the new year in a sort of new year, new me kind of way, those things everybody does and next to nobody actually adheres to, with a mixture of expectation and sort of wine, whiskey, festive fueled optimism. I decided that 2019 was going to be the year that Project A, that being my book of short stories, was going to be completed and flogged. And I've been hiding from that idea because Lord knows I didn't want to come on here and disappoint you. Did I? Hello? Yes, 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 yes. Go to your happy place. It's on fire. The fact of the matter is that I am heading towards my 27th year. I will be 27 in the August of 2019, and I'm starting to get a little bit of a feeling of now or never when it comes to this. Lord knows I've dabbled in enough things over the last couple of years, and I've never been a man with a plan. What I've always been good at is appearing impressive enough and speaking impressively enough and using enough impressive polysyllabic words of an authoritative tone and an authoritative beard that I've had since I was 12 to allow... the hell was that? To allow people the impression that I knew what I was doing, and the fact that it usually turned out okay anyway was just part of the course. But that kind of thing runs out after a while, and I've accumulated so many half-finished things, ideas that begin that don't go anywhere, good ideas to start with but never get anywhere. So in that respect, I'm now in the position that it took Stephen Moffat 5 years of Doctor Who to get to. That's got to be a little bit impressive, surely. Just a little bit, maybe? No, okay. I think it boils down to I have all of these leaves, all of these beautiful leaves, and no fucking tree to put them on, which is what 2019's for. 2019 is the year that I pull it together. This is one of the reasons why I started AuthorTube so late in the previous year, so I could have a little experimentation, a little feel for the camera, a little taste of the editing, a little taste for racking up subscribers. It's incredible. Where do you people keep coming from? I'm very happy you're here, but also I find it a little bit sinister. What was I saying? Ah, yes. 2019 is the year when this channel becomes the genuine record of my author's journey. Possibly it's going to be a delightful rags to riches kind of tale. Just possible that it might be a snuff film, so watch out for that, because I have a somewhat unhealthy relationship with literature. Yeah. In his seminal essay, which if you haven't read, I can't recommend it highly enough, Why I Write by George Orwell, he says that, and I'm going to paraphrase terribly here, I do apologise. Yep, he says that writing a book is like overcoming some terrible and debilitating illness. It exhausts you, it ruins you, it saps everything you have. It can ruin your social life, it can ruin your relationships. And it's not something anyone would ever willingly undertake unless there was some demon that pressed you on to do it. He also says an awful lot about us all being vain, selfish and lazy, but I think that sort of goes without saying. Well, my demon is very much alive and well, and I've been trying to capture the little shit for a very long time now. Maybe one day I'll do a video on the relationship between my writing and my mental health, but I'm not entirely comfortable doing it now. Suffice to say, all is not well in Noggin Town, and then again, you find me a fiction writer who doesn't have one mental health issue or another, and I will show you a hen's tooth. But the long and short of it is that one way or another, my fiction is a way of trying to exercise and exorcise. Ah, a nice little homophone for you there. This little bleeder out of me. And he likes to keep me on one of those retractable leashes. He lets me run so far, and then, where is it? There's my hand. And then he clicks the button and retracts me in, so things don't get finished. I start to panic about the state of my work, I start to panic about the state of my life. Well, the fact of the matter is, and I don't want to get too morbid here because I like to save my morbidity for my written work and a paying audience. Only joking, it's lovely to have you here. Really, where are you people coming from? It's very nice to have you here. Gotta stop doing that. Got to stop doing that. The hell was I saying? Technical difficulties, one moment. But yes, don't want to be too macabre, too morbid, particular, but the fact is, I'm running out of life. You know? I know it's a sort of ongoing joke that everybody of our generation feels that you need to have achieved something enormous by the time you're 30. You need to know exactly what you're going to do by the time you're 30. I'm not that worried about an arbitrary milestone, because Lord knows, I could walk out and get flattened by a car tomorrow, which by the sound you can hear is perfectly fucking likely. But it's a fact of the matter that I am now aware of the fact that life is taking on. I'm nearly a master's graduate. That is an enormous thing. At least it is to me. So I need to get a grip, basically, preferably of this little ephemeral fuck around the throat and throttle him so I can get on with the rest of my life. And the big way of doing this, I think, is of completing the Dead Meat Sextet. That is my book of short stories. Well, 3 short stories, 3 novellas, a loosely interconnected volume of very gruesome black comedies, all to do with individual characters encountering one form of the afterlife or another in a sort of Twilight Zone, Tales of the Unexpected, Alfred Hitchcock Presents kind of a way. And I am giving myself a year to bring it to life. So apart from a few other little things and the occasional tag that I have in mind of this channel, it is going to be dedicated purely to how I write and how I create this particular book, to take it from conception to, with any luck, publication, without letting this little thing get a hold of me. And you are more than welcome to come along. I can't really make you, but if you're still watching this, presumably you're sort of interested. This is me setting out on the first genuine step of establishing myself as the lord of strange and terrible things, of writing what I've always wanted to do, which is gruesome little stories for gruesome little people. That's you, by the way. My gruesome little people. Maybe one day in the future you will be heartened to call yourselves proud GLPs. This is gonna go terribly wrong. Essentially what I'm doing, and what I'm inviting you to witness, is I am declaring war on my own psyche through the medium of fiction, because Lord knows what else is it for. So it may be useful to lay down where the book stands at present. So, stories completed in a first draft, 2 out of 6. Stories plotted and ready to begin, 2 out of 6. Stories MIA PCR, that's missing in a purely conceptual realm, 2 out of 6. Agents acquired, 0. Publication deals, 0. Books sold / read, 0. No point. So, my luscious GLPs, yeah, I'm gonna make that a thing, whether you like it or not. This is the year of the demon. This is the year that I take the damn thing to task and finally make myself the writer that I've been pretending to be for a very long time. You may have wondered occasionally, or indeed not at all, why this channel is called What Now instead of Sean Hutchings-author. Well, it's because it's a sort of mission statement, really. It's a question I ask myself on a near hourly basis, which you can expect to do when you are very much making life up as you go along. And it really does show in my work. But here's what now. Here is the creation of a book. This is how this one particular writer works, and I can't, even though this master's will technically count as a teaching qualification, I don't expect to be able to actually teach you anything. What I can do is show you how I do it, and show you unabashed and without glitter or grease paint my shortcomings and failings, so maybe you can learn from the mistakes I make, and or at least look at it and go, Jesus, that fat bearded bastard. I don't want to be like that. I will be the exact, in which case I will have done something right. So these are my 2019 goals. This is what I will be doing. I will be completing my MA. I will be getting an actual proper, solid academic reference in fiction writing. So maybe my opinion will count for more, sort of, maybe. Nah, not really. But most of all, it is getting this book done. It is creating the Dead Meat Sextet and getting it out there in one shape or another, whether traditionally published or self-published. I don't mind, so long as it exists and there is some validation and vindication for me in this. Because if I can survive, if I can get through this and record the process and share every up and every down, and there's going to be a lot of downs with you gorgeous people, then it may count for something and I can sort of justify my existence, or certainly justify the existence of my writing. I'm also very keen to start doing social media properly, or at least start using the internet properly as a writer. It's why I'm going to start doing these serialized stories once I've got a decent back catalogue so I can keep a regular release going. And one thing I've been seeing, which I discovered purely by accident, but seemed to be relatively up the avenue of what I'm talking about, is it seems to be the case on YouTube with channels like, or with things like AuthorTube channels or whatever else, that when there is a milestone for the content creator, I do apologize to all my lovely American viewers, they do like, it's like they set themselves a sort of challenge, a sort of silly, jubilant, sort of like a Comic Relief or Children in Need skit, like a sketch of something silly and wonderful to make people smile. And I spoke to a friend of mine about this, and we kicked it around, and I said that there's a very real likelihood that my project, some little demon in the back of my head, will kill me before I can complete this project. He said, that's a bit grim, and I said, I know, but that's kind of my deal. And we worked it out, well, at least I worked it out and he approved, was seeing as if this works, and I'm telling you this so that if it works and you're still watching, you can hold me to it. I'll regret it, but apparently it's a good idea and I'm in a good mood right now. I will be insufferable. I will be gloating so much over the smashed corpse of a purely conceptual creature of my own devising that has been trying to do me in, or at least hold me back, for years I can't accurately count. So if I pull this all together, and if the Dead Meat Sextet, if my book exists in one shape or form by the end of the year, for you, my gruesome little people, my devilish little darlings, I will sing a song to the smashed remains of my own personal demon. I will end the Year of the Demon with the only song that would be applicable, or at least appropriate. And I will sing to it Still Alive from Portal. That will be how I celebrate my book coming to an end, coming to a close, and overcoming this living embodiment of the anxiety-ridden writer's block. So there's a 2019 for you all to look forward to. Possible snuff film, possible Portal sing-along at the end of the year. Stick around. Well, happy 2019, my lovely AuthorTubers. I still don't know what I'm doing. I'm still wondering what now. But if you like, if you comment, if you subscribe, if you can get the police around to sort this traffic out, it's only going to encourage me. And I will be back with the first go at showing you how I do whatever it is I do. Good evening.